Welcome back to another episode of the Dev Blog. Um, I don't have too much this time around. Let's start with the oldest news first. I just need to get myself a cart and some tracks, and I suppose some of these would be helpful as well. All right, I will just make a little... Oh, that was not what I wanted. A cart, perfect. Let's spawn out some tree monsters here. All right, so new behavior. When you are in a cart or on a boat, monsters will now break the cart or the boat, which means that you no longer are invincible while sitting on a boat or a cart. And you might think, well, why would that need to be implemented? And let's just say some certain somebodies were babysitting machines, and they were doing so sitting in carts, I believe. I don't have any hard evidence that that's the case, but I think that's what they were doing. And that kind of defeats the what's the word I'm looking for here? The spirit of the machine. So because you could just sit there invincible as it did its thing. I can't give too many details because it's one of the secrets of the server, but you know who you are, and yes, this was pretty much implemented to make your life more difficult, but not really. I mean, it does, but the idea isn't to babysit it. So I never thought anybody would do that, so I didn't think to implement anything to prevent people from doing it. But yeah, pretty much now that's the case. So that's done. Stained glass. Where is the glazer station? Here we go. Got some new textures here from Alfred. So there is now a aqua blue, a black, and then aqua blue and black obsidian framed glasses that can be made. If you want to get some of your own textures, just send me the files and I will be more than happy to add the textures in, because we're pretty lame here on stained glass styles and we definitely need more. And then there's two more changes. Oh wait, I don't know if I covered this yet. Oh yeah, I definitely did. This was in the last video. I remember now. I changed the layout a little bit up here in the hall. The information's still the same on these signs, but I just did a slightly nicer layout, I feel. And then I also removed the loom and the spinning wheel. I think they were over on this corner. I took them out of there though because they were already here and didn't make sense to be in two spots. I redid the design here on the woodworking stations, but the stain station, again, same information on the signs there. That didn't change. I did both of those during the live stream. And then these are the two new additions, which actually I think... Okay. I don't know if I want to put these out, but I can put them out temporarily and we should be okay. Hopefully by the time this goes live, all of this stuff is ready. So the big thing that I was working on last week, and the reason why there's not a whole lot of changes here, is because I added in a whole slew of flowers. So before we had, if I can get the recipes here. Oh, I took its recipe away. That's right. So before we had just flour that you'd get from wheat, we had this multigrain flour and rice flour. And now there is barley flour, there's corn flour, which doesn't have a recipe yet, multigrain. Why doesn't that have a recipe? I made a recipe for that. Interesting. Okay. There's oat flour, there's rice flour, there is rye flour, and there's wheat flour. And all of these flours you can get by crafting 4 of the, well, with the exception of the ones that don't exist, which the 3 I just clicked on don't. Whatever you want to call these, the oat sheaves, whatever, will get you 1 flour. That's the way losers do it, though. These 2 are not implemented yet at the time of recording. Oh wait, yeah, it is. It just is very poorly done. This is what you're seeing is what do we call this? It's alpha stages, I guess. So, but this is how it'll more or less work. So there's a threshing machine, or by the time this video goes live, hopefully it'll be fully functional. Right now it basically just takes, say, your wheat or rye or oats or whatever, and it converts 1 into 4 seeds. So now we have 40 wheat seeds. It'll also give you straw, but that hasn't been added yet. Again, hopefully by the time this video goes live, it will be. And then we have the flour mill, which works by throwing in your seeds and it grinds them, and 4 seeds give you 1 flour. So essentially, if you do the math, and some of these numbers might change, but if you do the math, you can take 4 wheat sheaves and get 1 flour, or you can take those 4 wheat sheaves, throw them into a threshing machine, get potentially 16 seeds with the current implementation, and get 4 seeds. So you can quadruple your flour output if you craft a threshing machine and a flour mill. And that's what the current code, it is going to change a little bit. It's not coded yet. I haven't gotten around to it. And then this doesn't work yet at all. I'll have to remove these as soon as I'm done recording. But there's a butter churn, because the current recipe for butter, which I didn't even realize there was butter currently, is a bucket of milk and a thing of salt. And this salt you can only get by cooking water to get salt. So that's going to change, and we'll have a butter churn. And basically you'll throw milk in and you'll get butter out. That's how that'll work. Very realistic, because that's how you actually, make butter. And while sure they use machines to do it that are a little fancier than this, keep in mind it's supposed to be fantasy era. Is fantasy really an era? Medieval era with a side of fantasy? And then we have our food prep station here. This currently just has a lot of doughs. So you can make, banana bread dough, all of your different breads, pumpkin bread, one of these. So one thing to point out, 2 things, I guess is really just one. The banana bread and the pumpkin bread, it just uses group flour. So any of the flours you can use for, all of your other breads use the specific flour to that bread. So making rice bread, you need rice flour, obviously. These recipes are subject to change. I'll probably be tweaking some of them around, making little differences in them. And then all of the doughs can be cooked into bread. So yeah, you see you can get banana bread. We have some beautiful barley bread. We have some tasty corn bread. There's some multi-grain bread. There's some oat bread. There's some pumpkin bread, which I don't know if I'd eat it myself personally. There's some rice bread, which, for the record, I don't know what recipe these people used. I found these pictures on the internet and I cleaned them up and scaled them down. I don't know what recipe they used for this rice bread, but this looks nothing like any rice bread I've ever made or eaten. We have some rye bread, and we have wheat bread. My personal favorite, obviously, is the banana bread. So good. It's like pound cake. Tasty. And then these breads, well, I think this is the pumpkin bread from farming. They still exist right now. These will be removed at some point, but this pumpkin dough can still be crafted right now. Basically, the plan is once I have the butter churn and the threshing machine finalized and ready to go, which, by the way, the threshing machine here, this is not final form. Oh, and it's broke. That's good. I'm glad I didn't fix that. That's genius. Anyway, I'll just wreck more stuff. This is not final form. I made this on the stream this past weekend. I don't really care for how it looks, but I don't know how to make it look better. But this will end up changing eventually because, yeah, I don't like its looks. And that's it, honestly. I'm going to make a new stove, too, that just looks a little nicer in a kitchen. This food prep station, I guess, I should... Ta-da! So you can put it on anything you want. You know, if you have marble countertops, you can do that. If you want to put it in a kitchen on top of cabinets like this, you can do this. I kind of really like how it turned out. And then, of course, there will be more stuff added. Right now, I just got all the breads created, all the textures and stuff. It took a while to do, several days, actually. But yeah, now that is all implemented, I can start pulling in all of the food from farming. So we can get... So there's a blueberry pie. Oh, it doesn't give you a raw blueberry pie that you have to cook? Okay. And these don't give you raw things either. Interesting. Well, the pumpkin, you wouldn't have... What is this? Porridge. I don't remember ever seeing porridge before. Interesting. What's this? Pea soup or something? It's pea soup. Rhubarb pie. Okay. So evidently the only thing you ever had to cook was the flour to bread. All right, that might be changing a little bit. You know, maybe I won't though. Maybe I'll just leave it that you craft cooked food. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do for that yet. But most of your foods are going to be made in this food prep station, and then if they have to still be cooked, they'll be cooked just in, you know, a normal furnace. Which this is just a standard furnace. Won't be anything special that you have to use to cook it, because that would be silly. Where's the anvil? I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video. Retextured the anvil. It now should be, with the exception of the bucket, everything should line up pretty much perfect to pixels. I say pretty much because the anvil has diagonals on it. I think that's it for changes this week. Oh, one last thing. This isn't really a code change, but I'll cover it here anyways. Behold, the lava fountain. Aha, sucker. Ignacio's 10. Dude, bro. People going to the lava and dying. I got sick and tired of people going up in the lava stream here and dying. And then the lava overflows onto the water. And then with the new lava cooling, with the lava crust, basalt, obsidian, nether basalt, and default stone, it was kind of a mess to clean up, and every lava crust you'd break, and then you'd get more lava, and I just had it. I was like, people are just doing this to be stupid. So, yeah, I made the whole surrounding pond, if we want to call this thing a pond, of lava too. So now if you if you're one of those idiots who dies in here, let me just show you what'll happen. So if I could get in. So say Ignazio 10 died there. So his bones are placed. Well, now we have the lava spilling over. Okay. Lava spilling. Seems to be as far as lava will spread because of the edges here. Okay. And then I just come in and I go, okay, so some dummy died. Oh, here's Ignazio's bones. Let me clean that up. Let me fix Ignazio's mess. And then, well, what do you know? It's back to perfect. It's going to save me a ton of time, which is good. Picnic tables work, finally. I think they've worked for some time, but I finally just got that last one replaced in. And yeah, that is it. I'm kind of stalling. So let's stop stalling and get on with the program. Oops. I think I added something new to the server-specific information. Maybe not. Stations I didn't change. Tool ranks I would have mentioned last week. Okay, maybe I didn't change. I thought I changed something in the doc stuff here. Maybe not. Or if I did, you just have to read through it to discover what it was. So yeah, not a whole lot of changes this week because I spent a lot of time working on the breads and the models for the food stuff. So that, and I've been bicycling a bunch. You know, gotta get ripped. Ouch. So that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week for another update on the server progress. If you want to join the server, info is all on the website, which is linked in the video description. And that's gonna do it. See you next time.